Hi besties, welcome back to my channel. My name is Promoted Sandra. If you are new to my channel, thank you very much for stopping by. If you're a returning subscriber, hi loves, thank you very much for coming back. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys how to cut and sew this beautiful crop top I am putting on. So if this is something you're interested in, then keep up watching. And as well, before we dive into this video, I quickly want to appreciate you guys for subscribing, watching and commenting on my videos. This really means a lot to me, and we're already approaching 40k subscribers. Please be part of my family by subscribing in case you've not subscribed, and don't also forget to share this channel with your friends and your loved ones. This is the fabric I'm going to be using, and this is called vintage. This is 2 yards of vintage, and you can go ahead and make use of 1.5 yards. If you are slim, you can make use of 1 yard. Okay, that depends on you. Here on this channel, I do everything related to pattern drafting, cutting and sewing tutorials, DIYs. If that is something you're interested in, then keep up watching. So I'm just going to go ahead and keep this aside like this. So first thing first I'm going to be doing is to go ahead and fold my fabric into two, just like as you can see. I've gone ahead to fold it into two. So I'll go ahead and fold it into two again like this. I hope you guys can see what I'm doing. So I've gone ahead to fold it into two. So I'm going to be cutting out the length of what I'm going to be using for this dress. So I'll place my tape on the top and I'll measure 20 inches. So if you want yours to be short, you can make it 16, 17. So for me, I'm just making 20 inches. So that 20 inches include both the sewing allowance for the up and for the down as well. So I'll mark a straight line across that line. I will go ahead and cut it out. So the length of what I'm using is 20 inches. You can go ahead and make yours longer or shorter. So once I was done cutting the first one, I will place it on this other one like this. I will go ahead and cut it out because I'm going to be needing two, one for the front and one for the back. So I'll go ahead and keep this one of it aside. Then I'll open up this other one that is left. I'm going to be cutting the back first before the front. And remember, this crop top does not have a zip at the back, so I'm going to be using the side that is closed as the center back. So first of all, I'm going to measure the neckline I'm working with. That is the wideness of the neck, which is 3 inches like this. So from this point, I will measure how long I want the sleeve to be. So this is a continuation sleeve crop top. Okay, so I'll measure 24 inches. If you want your sleeve to be shorter or longer, you can go ahead and extend it or reduce it. So I'll measure 24 inches like this. I just hope you guys can see it because this chalk is the same color with the dress, almost the same color. So I'll come to this center back. I'll measure the width of the neck, which is 1.5 inches. I came down by 1.5 inches. I'll go ahead and connect it like this. From that 3 inches wideness to the 1.5 inches I came down with, I will connect it and I will cut it out. So this material is kind of slippery, and I'll just go ahead and pin it so that it does not scatter. So you just have to be careful when you are doing yours. So I will come to this point that I marked here. I will come down by 1 inch, which is going to be serving as the shoulder slope. I will mark a slant line from the neckline to that shoulder slope I just came down with. I will go ahead and cut it out. So once I was done cutting it, I'll go ahead and pin it down. So make sure you pin your fabric down, except maybe your fabric is thick. So right now I will come to this point here. That is the downside. I will measure that 24 inches as well, so that I want the down and the up to be equal. I'll go ahead and mark a straight line from that 1 inch I came down with down to the end of the top. I'll just mark a straight line. I'll go ahead and cut it out like this. So this is what I'm going to have. I'll go ahead and keep this aside. So I'm done with the back. I will go ahead and open up the front part. So this part that is open like this part here is going to be serving as the center front because of the design at the front. Okay, because of the opening at the front. So I'll go ahead and place the back on the front piece like this. I'll place it like this. Then this side, this neck area, this part here is going to be facing this side that is opened, while this armhole area is going to be facing the other side. Okay, I hope you guys understand what I'm saying. If you don't understand, watch what I'm doing, you understand. So I went ahead to like -1 inch from the back. Remember, I actually went ahead to measure 24 inches and -1 inch. What I'm left with is 23 inches. So I will just shift it to the end of this front part like this, so that the end will be equal. So I'll go ahead and pin it down like this. This material is really slippery, so it's just really difficult to work with. So I'll go ahead and pin it down. So the space between here like this, in between here like this, is 5 inches, is 7 inches. Okay, not 5, 7 inches. So what I'm going to be doing is to go ahead and cut out the shoulder slope first for the front. Just watch out what I'm doing. I'll cut out the shoulder slope, I'll cut out the neckline for the front like this. So from this front here, I'll place my tape on the wideness of the neckline, like where the wideness ended. I'll measure 7 inches downward on the back. Can you see that I'm doing this on the back? I'll go ahead and measure 7 inches downward. So me, I don't want my cleavage to be too open. If you want your cleavage to be revealed, you can come down by 9 inches, 10 inches, 8 inches. So for me, I want my cleavage to be close. So I came down by 7 inches. From that 7 inches, I'll place my French curve like this. So you can go ahead and make use of your straight ruler and mark a slant line from that point downward. I hope you guys can see what I'm doing. I'll just go ahead and use my hand to connect it again, mark it downward, then go ahead and cut it at like this. Just mark a slant line from that 7 inches. Okay, I'll go ahead and remove the pin. I'll remove the back neckline like this. I'll go ahead and cut it out to the end of the neckline. Can you see it's not slanted? This is the back and this is the front. So I'll go ahead and pin the fronts together using my pin before removing the back. But before I remove the back, I will measure the wideness of the sleeve I'm working with. So for me, I will just go ahead and measure 9.5 inches. Okay, I will notch it. I will mark a point there. I will notch it like this. So you can come down by 10 inches, 11 inches, depending on you. So I will come to the end of the crop top like this. From this point, I'll mark 3 inches inward. From that 3 inches, I will connect a curve line like this. Just watch out what I'm doing, like this, to meet with the 9.5 inches point I marked for the sleeve. I will go ahead and cut it out. So I'll come to the down part. I'll cut out the excesses. You can see that the back and the front is not equal. I'll cut out the excesses. So this is it. I'll go ahead and remove the pin. Then I will open up the back like this. And now that we are done with the cutting part, we are going to move to the sewing part. Okay, like this. So the back is already opened. I'm going to be placing one part of the front to the back like this. So I'm going to be joining the shoulder together like this. And mind you, the right side of the front is going to be facing the right side of the back. So I'm just going to go ahead and pin it together. So once I'm done pinning it, I will take to the sewing machine and sew it with 1/2 inch like this. Then I will also go ahead and pin this underside down. This other side, I will go ahead and pin it down like this. So once I'm done pinning it, I will sew it with 1/2 inch like this. So once I was done sewing it, this is how it looked like, as you can see. So this crop top actually has like a flap at the front. Is it flap or a journey or a belt? I hope you guys understand what I'm saying. So it has it at the front. So I'm just going to go ahead and measure the neckline of the front round like this. From the starting, I will just go ahead and measure it round to the under end. So what I have here is about almost a full tape. So I'll go ahead and cut out a piece like this. I've gone ahead to cut out a piece, and the wideness of this piece is 4 inches. Then the length of this piece is the exact length I have at the front of the crop top. That is a full length. I also went ahead to cut out another piece for the sleeve because the sleeve also has a journey. So I'll go ahead and fold the lapel belt into two. I'll go ahead and iron it with my gas iron. So there's no light, I'm just using my gas iron. And I'll go ahead and trim out 1/2 inch from it because I discovered it was too wide. So you can go ahead and make use of 3 inches instead of 4 inches. Then I'm just going to go ahead and pin it down to the dress, to my dress like this. And I'm pinning it to the right side, to the front of the dress. I'll just go ahead and pin it down and sew it. So we are going to be sewing this together. So first of all, pin it take to the sewing machine and sew it around from the starting to the other end. Okay, so this is me sewing it. I hope you guys can see what I'm doing. So this is me sewing it. It's very easy. So guys, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and like this video if you end up enjoying it. Please comment, this really helps my algorithm a lot, and turn on post notification if you want to see more on this channel. So this is how it look like. So I'll just make it flat like this, Then I'll go ahead and top stitch on it from the end like this. I'll just top stitch. So you are going to be top stitching on your dress, not on the belt. So go ahead and top stitch. I believe as a fashion designer you should know how to top stitch. Yeah, that is the simplest thing to do. So go ahead and top stitch on it from the starting to the other end. So once I was done top stitching, I will cut out the excesses. So I will come to this sleeve area here like this. I'm going to be attaching the joining for the sleeve as well. I'll go ahead and open up the dress. So I'll go ahead and place the belt on it like this. I'll go ahead and sew it just like the same way I sewed the neckline of the front and the back. That's how I'm going to be sewing the sleeve as well. I will sew it, then cut out the excesses. I will top stitch as well on it. So this is me top stitching. So I will do the same thing for the other side of the sleeve of the camera. So I've gone ahead to sew it. This is how it look like. I see how it look like. Okay, this is it. So what I'm going to be doing now is to arrange it very well. I will pin the sides together like this. Just go ahead and pin the sleeve, the sides together. Make sure you arrange it because we're about to cut out all the excesses on this dress. Arrange it and place the front right like this. Then place the other side right like this. Just make sure the sides are equal. Just go ahead and pin it using your pin. Arrange it very well. So once I was done arranging it, this is how the neckline for the front look like. I see that the cleavage is close. So I'm going to cut out the excesses at the front. So you're going to see that the back and the front is not equal. So I'll go ahead and cut out the excess at the front like this. Just go ahead and cut it out. And right now I'm just going to go ahead and lift it up a little and pin it down with my pin. I'm going to pin this part down. There is one side of the front, pin it down to the other side of the front, and please don't pin it to the back. Just go ahead and use your hand to separate it. I will take to the sewing machine and sew the two of them together. So I'll take to the sewing machine and sew from this point down to this point. So I've gone ahead to sew it, and this is how it look like. So I'll go ahead and remove the pin. Okay. So once I was done joining it, you can see I will flip it to the back, like I will flip it to the back side. I'm about to shape in the dress. I will join the sleeve together like this. I'll pin it down. I'll pin the sleeve down, pin the end of the crop top down. That is the end of the dress. I'll pin it down. I will take to the same machine and sew it with 1/2 inch like this. So I'll also pin the other side and sew it. So I've gone ahead to sew it, and this is how it look like. As you can see, I've gone ahead to sew it, and our dress is ready. The last part is going to be the down part. Okay, so for the down part, I'm just going to flip it to the back again. And I'm going to go ahead and fold the back in like this. I'll fold it first like this. I'll fold it again like this. So you're just going to make sure you fold it wide so that your pin and your elastic will enter. So I will pin it down like this, but I'm going to take this to the same machine and sew it. I'll take to the same machine and sew it to the edge like this. I will sew it through the edge like this from the start to the end. I'll just sew it round, and please don't sew everything. Make sure you leave like 2 inches space where you're going to be passing your elastic through. Okay, so I've gone ahead to sew it. This is how it look like. This is the space I left. So this is the elastic band I'm going to be using. The length of this elastic band is my waist measurement. So my waist is 32 inches, and what I have here after measuring it is 32 inches. So you make use of your waist measurement. So this is the pin I'm going to be using. I'll just go ahead and open up the pin and pin the elastic to the pin like this. I hope you guys understand. Then I'll just insert it through the space I left like this. Just go ahead and pass it through it like this. So when you are inserting the elastic, just take note of the end like this. So this is it. I will just go ahead and pin this end like this part. I will pin it down. Use your pin and secure it. So I'll continue passing the elastic through the hole. So one issue I discovered was at the front, that journey at the front. So after pinning it, I discovered that the pin went out through one of the holes. So what I went ahead to do was to go ahead and loosen up the front. So I would advise the space you are going to be leaving should be at the front, most especially that journey at the front. So I've gone ahead to loosen it up, and this is the center. I'll just go ahead and pass the pin through the center. So right now I can see the center. I'll just go ahead and pass the pin through the center like this, so that it doesn't come out on the other end again. I've gone ahead to pass the pin through it, as you can see. So this is it. Okay, I'll go ahead and sew the two elastic together like this. I'll pin it together and sew it very tight. So once I'm done sewing it, I'll go ahead and cover up the space that I left before, and the opening at the front, I'll just go ahead and sew it back. And so at the end of the day, one thing I noticed about this top is this part here. So I actually went ahead to use pin and pin it down. Just want to remove the pin and show you guys. When you are cut, remember I said this fabric was really slippery, and that part they actually show on the video, in case maybe you are kind of wondering, like, we did see that part. No, I had to edit that part off. It was really difficult for me to work with this fabric. So you're going to see that the down here is kind of a little bit budgy or big or whatever, this part here. So when you are cutting on your fabric, do well to make sure this part at the down here is really straight. If possible, you can go ahead and make use of your pattern paper to do this. So if you can make use of pattern paper, go ahead and make use of it. If you cannot, just go ahead and cut on your fabric. Just make sure you take time. Okay, that is all I have to say for this video. I hope this top is really beautiful. I have a Facebook group for fashion designers. If you're interested in joining, I'm going to be leaving the link at the description section and also at the comment section. Please do well to click on the link and join my Facebook group. So in that group, we'll share more fashion tips. So if you have any styles you want to sew and you're finding it difficult, you can post it in the group. If there's any material you want to know about, you can post it in the group. And also follow me up on Instagram at official promoted Sandra, on TikTok at promoted Sandra, Facebook promoted Sandra. So this is the outcome of the outfit. I hope this was really helpful. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, turn on post notification, and as well invite your friends to check out my channels, because I have a lot of cutting and sewing tutorials on this channel. If you've not watched my other videos, I'm just going to advise you to click on my profile, click on the video section, and go ahead and watch my other videos. They are really helpful. So see you guys in my next video. Bye.